Peace and innumerable blessings. My name is Jeanette Jackson-Lancian, and welcome to the yoga suggestions for the Scorpio New Moon. On November 16th at 2:13 p.m., we get to experience the joy that is the Scorpio New Moon. What does this Scorpio New Moon mean for you? Two things. First things first, it's time to create your life based on your truth. It's time to begin to rip up the foundations that were given to us that no longer serve us, and instead create a foundation that's built on our truth and live on that foundation built on our truth. What does that mean for your practice, for your life, for your journey as a yogi or yogini? What that means is, rather than chasing after idealized versions of what yoga is, find out what yoga is and what yoga means for you and live that. If yoga for you is asana, then practice hard, practice well, seek your version of asana and then practice that. And within your version of asana, make sure that you're practicing within the limitations and the confines of your body, meaning that you're not reading light on yoga and saying, why am I not doing that? You're not doing that because your bones just ain't shaped for it. You can practice until you're like blue in the face, 72 years old, and practice just working on this one pose. It may not be for you because your bones just ain't gonna do it, and that's fine. If yoga for you is pranayama and meditation and asana just never did anything for you, that's fine. Pranayama it up, meditate it up, whatever. It means, just in short, that our paths should align more with our truth and not with what society says our truth should be or some guru says your truth should be. Your practice is housed in your body, it's housed in your experience. Your truth is in your body, your truth is in your experience. It's not what somebody says to you. That's the first point. The second point is, if you have something you're working on, something you're seeking to perfect or seeking to perfect or begin to share that with others and begin to build communities based on vulnerability. Vulnerability means sharing something that's new, that's coming through you, as well as something that you're working on. If you build a community based on information that you're seeking to understand and apply to yourself, as well as information that's coming out of you and you're seeking to share with others, those communities are built on truth and tied to evolutionary process and will further you along your path. Very, very helpful stuff. That's basically the energy of the Scorpio New Moon and how to apply that mentally and socially to your practice. Physically, asana-wise, because I like asana, practice focused on your hips and your core. Your hips, because that's where your emotions are held. Emotions are very, very important because emotions are communicators of truth. They let you know what you're feeling and whether what your experience is aligned with your truth or vastly far right or left, whatever. Emotions get stuck in the body because we don't pay attention to them when we don't process them. The core. Why the core? The core is because that's where your truth resides. That's where your soul comes into and leaves your body. As well as physically, that's like your stomach's kind of up here, but that's where the digestive stuff is. So within your core is the ability to process everything that happens to you all day long. The core processes life and makes sure that it aligns with your truth, and your emotions are kind of the communication of the results of the processing. So we're going to focus on hips and core and hips. So within that, we're going to flow through something really quick. start in downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is wonderful. It's the pose that helps you process what asana you just finished. So from downward facing dog, gently inhale the body long into plank. Make sure that the ankles, hips, and shoulders are all in one line. Very helpful. Stay here a second. Pull the heels back, pull the head forward, and pull the shoulder blades in the back away a bit. So you actually feel your core holding you up, empowering this position. From here, either drop the knees and lower down, or just gently roll down. Beautiful. Lengthen the feet so the tops of the feet are on the floor, and bring the hands to the hips. Gently inwardly spiral the thighs, which may poke your butt up. That's fine. And then press the hips down. Once you press the hips into the floor, and your hands are there to remind you to keep the hips into the floor, press the stomach into the floor. Notice that the heart kind of is beginning to rise. Allow it to rise. Actually pull the heart out and forward. And keep the chin parallel with the floor as much as possible. So what we're going to do is keep on pressing the hips down and the stomach into the earth on the exhalation. On the inhalation, pull the spine long. Allow the elbows to rise up towards the ceiling and the shoulder blades to slip down the back. Once again, each exhalation presses the hips and the stomach down into the earth. Each inhalation draws the heart forward. Beautiful. Whenever you're finished, if you want to actually take this further, you can bend the knees, grasp the ankles, woohoo, do that. You can fly off into the distance. Whatever makes you happy. Focus on pushing the hips down and the stomach down, and just leading and allowing the heart and the legs to be extensions of such. But whenever you're ready, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, roll the toes under, find your way, whatever way, knees down, push up into plank, or legs long, push up into plank, and then back into a place where you can process your work. Ooh, happy fun. Positions and asanas like Baddha Konasana, where the knees are down, the hips are open, you can fold forward. That's also helpful. Just make sure that you're focusing on pulling the knees down, outwardly spiraling the thighs, so they're kind of rolling up and out. And bringing your heart forward as you fold and being okay with wherever you land. So those are my asana and mental social suggestions for the Scorpio New Moon. Another suggestion is to wake up in the morning, and if you have time, make sure that you drink some warm lemon water or some water that you've boiled ginger in. Ginger and lemon are really good for cleansing the body energetically and helping the digestive process. That's really important if you're really serious about focusing on what stories are your truth versus the stories that you've been implanted with all throughout your life. So once again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you for the Gemini full moon. Until then, practice with soul, practice with purpose. Namaste. Peace. Thanks for watching.